What's going on? Welcome to Sales in Action. This is your man Jamel coming to you with one of the first episodes on the channel. Today, listen, I'm going to keep it real simple with you. But in keeping it simple, I am going to give you the number one tool that's going to help you be successful in sales. Listen, if I'm being honest, this right here is nothing new. What I'm about to give you is something that people have been doing for years in sales that have studied and perfected their crafts. Listen, what you need to do is make sure you watch the video all the way to the end. The very last tool that I'm going to give you is a game changer. It's going to help you elevate your sales skills from zero to hero. Pay attention. Listen, the number one tool to help you be successful in sales, check this out, is your personality. Let me tell you something. Before a prospect, before a consumer even considers buying your product, buying your services, buying any of that, the first thing that they buy is you. They buy you first. And the first thing that they get a glimpse of is your personality. Listen, I'm talking about whether it's face to face and you're on a car lot, right? Or they're coming into your place of business. The first thing they're going to peep is your body language. The first thing that they're going to see is your personality, how you greet them, how you stand, how you walk. Believe me, all of that plays a part in the sales process. If you're over the phone, you have, listen, about 50 to 60 seconds to really reel them in. We call it a hook. You guys can check out those videos. They're coming soon. But it's called a hook. You have about 60 seconds to really reel them in. And what they're gauging you on is your personality, how you're conversating with them. Are you personable? Or are you coming across kind of aggressive, right? Your personality is the most important part of the sales call. Why? Because before they buy your company, before they buy any services or products that you want to pitch them, they have to buy you first. What drives me crazy is that most salespeople don't understand this. Most salespeople want to stay inside the box. They don't want to get out of the box. They want to just stick to the topic at hand, and they never let the prospect get to know them. Listen, I'm old school sales, and I'm going to tell you, if it worked 10, 15, 20 years ago, to a certain extent, it's still going to work today. Some of the best sales trainers, and I'm name dropping right now, Zig Ziglar, Tom Hopkins, some of the greatest sales trainers will tell you this. People buy from people they like. So, what are you doing to make yourself likable? What are you doing to get outside the box and separate yourself from the competition? Because if the competition is sounding robotic and you're sounding robotic, and if the competition is staying right on topic and never getting outside the box, they're just dotting the I's and crossing the T's, and you're doing the same exact thing. What it comes down to the prospect is the cost. That's the only deciding factor is, well, this one was 9,000 and this one was 7,000. I'm going for the cheapest one. Even though your product, your service at 9,000 maybe had more bells and whistles, maybe you offered more security, maybe you offered more benefits, but because you never allowed them to see all that through the veil of your personality, the only thing that they really grasped was the cost. Listen, you got to move them past the cost and allow them to see you. Sell yourself first. Everything else will follow. Listen, I'm about to give you four things. Four things. And I'm going to give you these four things for free. Four things that you need to do every day on sales calls. And what I'm talking about is within your personality. You need to bring these four things to the front. Every day you're on the telephone taking sales calls, or every day you're face to face with your client. Here's number one. You have to have curiosity. Listen, a seller with innate curiosity tends to be more open to new things and is happy learning new techniques, tools, and methods. So that's the first part of curiosity. If you're curious, it's going to help you master your craft. You're not going to want to be painted inside a box. You're going to want to expand and learn new things, grow so that you can bring new things to the table. But here's another aspect of curiosity. Being curious on a sales call helps you have a conversation. And that's all sales is. It's a conversation. You have to be willing to have curiosity, to have a conversation, to ask questions so the prospect gets to know you and you get to know the prospect. Why is that so important, Jamel? I'm glad you asked. It's important because if you get them talking, they will tell you everything you need to know to close the deal. So allow your curiosity to open the door wide. Matter of fact, kick that bad boy in so that you can get them to where you need them to be. Here's tool number 2. You have to have drive. Check this out. If you're not enthusiastic about something, it will show one way or another. But how do you remain upbeat in a field notorious for bringing everyone down? Pay attention. You draw inspiration from within, not from the external circumstances you can't control. Self-motivated sellers retain energy and competitiveness. Drive comes through in your personality. You don't allow the situation and circumstances in your environment to affect what you do. You might have negative coworkers. You might have negative persons sitting right next to you. I guarantee you, probably 85% of you in the sales industry are sitting next to a negative Nancy, sitting next to a Karen. But let me tell you this, if you have personal drive, personal ambition, that negative person will not affect you and it will come through in your personality. And what happens is personality is infectious. So as long as you continue to walk that path, people are going to see it and your success. They're going to ask, well, how's he doing that? And then you get to have that conversation with them about how your drive helped you rise to the top. Here's tip number 3. You have to have empathy. You need to be empathetic. Check this out. To achieve excellence in the sales world today, today's sellers must go beyond just being sociable. You can't just be sociable. That's easy. Anybody can be sociable. Anybody can fake it till they make it, right? But you have to possess enough empathy to accurately see where different people are coming from. That old adage, walk a mile in my shoes, makes so much sense in today's world. We have salespeople today that are judging books by their cover. And we're looking at the outside and never allowing ourselves to go deeper, probing, asking questions to figure out what the pain is, what the situation is, how this person get here, and how can I fix it. You have to have empathy in your personality tool bag. If you're not empathetic, I promise you, you will not get far in sales. You have to be able to meet your client where they are, and it has to be legit. Let me tell you something. You can't fake this. It has to be legit because they will either be able to read it off of your person or it's going to come through in your speech. It has to be legit or it will not work. Listen, here's tip number 4. This is where the bomb goes off. This is where the parade comes in. If you've made it this far into the video, listen, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Check this out. Tip number 4. You have to be optimistic. You have to have optimism. Nothing beats a positive attitude. Optimistic sellers are easier to relate to and easier to work with. If they catch you on the phone or on the lot or wherever you're working and you sound like you're having the worst day ever, like somebody stepped on your cat's tail, like you don't enjoy what you're doing, guess what? They're not going to want to work with you. They're not going to want to do business with your company, and you most likely will never see or hear from that person again. But if you sound optimistic, if your personality exudes motivation and success, it's contagious. It will come across, and that person will want to be in conversation with you longer. That person will want to be in your presence longer, and that person will allow you to go through your entire sales script program all the way to the end. And that's what we're looking for, isn't it? To get to the end so we can do what? Ask for the sale. You've got to be optimistic every single day. I don't care how many people have told you no up to this point. If you're on call number 7, if you're on the 10th person that walked on your car lot, you need to treat them like they're the first person that you've spoke to that day. And you need to be optimistic and watch what happens. Listen, put this sales training into action. You get it? Sales in action. And watch what happens. Kick the door off and become a tier 1 asset for your company. I'll holler at y'all on the next video.